Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back here with another video. This is going to be a midway point spring 2025 anime season tier list. Every anime that I have started for the spring 2025 season, I'm going to be ranking on a tier list. I have 45 animes that I'm going to be ranking. They call me Anime Addict, so, I got to start as many as I can. 45 animes. Yeah, so pretty much we got S, A, B, C, D. Any ones that I dropped, I'm probably just going to be putting straight into D because I think it's the fairest way to rank them. So, first off, we're going to start with Moonrise. So, this one I watched the whole way through, and then I started to rewatch it with some of my friends. I do think it is a very, very good story, although there are times where it gets a little bit confusing, especially the ending for me. The ending was very confusing. I kind of didn't understand it, but if I had to give it a fair assessment, I would put it in A. I also really like. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Into A. So I also really like that it has the same character designer as FMA. I thought that was really cool because I saw the similarities, so I had to look it up. Same character designer as FMA, so that was one thing that was really cool. So I'm going to put that in A rank. Next up, Fire Force Season 3. This one is by far my favorite this season. I loved the first two seasons of Fire Force. I have been loving every episode of Season 3, even the slower episodes in the beginning. I just love the series as a whole. I think it's amazing. I love how they're tying things into how, where it's going to lead. And, yeah, especially episode 6 that we just got last week. Burns versus Shinra, and then everything with the doppelganger and Benimaru showing up at the very end. I think it was the best episode of Fire Force ever. I'm going to be ranking this in S. Next up, we have one called My Bashi Witches. Now, this one is like, the main characters are witches and idols, so they basically are able to use magic, but the way that they perform is like idols, and they basically make people's dreams come true. I honestly think it's kind of an okay show. I don't absolutely hate it, but to give it a fair assessment, I'm going to be putting it into C. Next up, we have a ninja and an assassin living under one roof. This one is probably the funniest anime this season. Also, Witch Watch is very funny, which we'll get to later. But this one is very, very funny. If you're not watching, basically, there's a ninja and assassin who live together. The assassin murders people that are coming after the ninja because she, ran away from the village. And yeah, so the ninja, she turns the corpses into leaves. I just think it's absolutely hilarious. I'm going to be putting it into the B rank. Next up, we have Mono. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I don't know why I always get confused if it's Mono or Mono. So this one is about, girls that are photographers, I believe. I'm honestly haven't really been too much into the show. I know that there's, cameos from characters from the Yuru camp, which I haven't seen that either. But I'm honestly not a big fan of it. It's all right. It has that art style of that I personally find to not be all that appealing to look at. So to give it a fair assessment, I'm going to be putting it into C rank. Next up, we have, I believe it's the alien cat Moo. This one I don't really like. I am dropping it, so that pretty much speaks for itself. I'm going to be putting it into D rank. Next up, we have Food for the Soul. This is also a very, very funny anime this season. It has cute girls doing cute things. They're basically in a club, quote unquote, for research or whatever, and they basically just make food. They go around, finding different foods and different things, and the characters are just absolutely hilarious. It's very cute, very funny. I'm actually going to be putting it into trying to decide between A and B because I do think it's very good. I'm actually going to put it into A. That might be a little bit of a hot take on that one. Some people will probably put it into a B or even a C, but I love it. Next up, Go Go Loser Rangers Season 2. This season has been absolutely incredible. Everything with the Green Ranger in the school, and then the reveal of the Green Ranger. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, just like everything with Hisui that we've been getting, I really love her character. I love when she puts on like that mask. I just think it's very, very cool. And of course, D, he's been going off and everything. So I'm going to put this into S rank. Next up, we have Yandere, the Dark Elf. I'm not a fan of ecchi animes. I don't watch ecchi animes. I watched episode 1, not necessarily knowing exactly what this all was, and based off episode 1, I dropped it. So I'm going to be putting this in D-Reg. Next up, 2B Hero X. So, this one might be the most popular one this season. I know we got other ones like One Piece, Fire Force, Windbreaker. But based off of like content that I've seen from other content creators and different things, this is probably the #1 anime this season. I think the stories being told are very, very good. It is a little bit frustrating to see something to where like episode 4 left off and then they haven't touched on it yet, but I know that a lot of people that know like what it's about have said that like we're going to come back to them, and I do trust that everything is going to come together in the end. So I'm going to be putting 2B Hero X as S rank. Next up, Apothecary Diaries Season 2. If you love Season 1, you're going to love Season 2. This season has been great. Mao Mao, Jinshi, everybody. And right now, Mao Mao has been taken, and Jinshi is on a mission to get her back. And yeah, I love where it's heading. So I'm going to be putting Apothecary Diaries Season 2 into S rank. Next up, we have Super Cube. I have been enjoying every single episode. I know some people kind of did not like some of the in-between episodes between episodes 1 and 7. 7 was that episode with one of the highest animated episodes I've ever seen in my life. It was absolutely incredible. I think, to be fair, in terms of the plot, because some of the episodes were stale, I do admit, even though I've joined them all, I'm going to be putting this into A rank instead of S, just because the plot has been slow a couple episodes. Next up, Devil May Cry. I loved watching this. I actually watched it twice, once by myself and then once with all my friends. I think this show is absolutely incredible. Season 2, I believe, is supposed to be coming out later this year, and I cannot wait for that. I'm going to be putting Devil May Cry into S rank. Next up, we have Sword of the Demon Hunter. Episode 1, one of the best first episodes I've ever seen. It was like almost an hour long. Every episode since then has been good, but I kind of think that my interest in it hasn't sustained the entire time. To give it a fair assessment, I'm going to be putting into A. I know some people would probably say S, but for me personally, I'm going to be putting it into the A reg. Next up, we have the Gorilla God's Go-To Girl. I think this is also a very cute, very funny anime. Basically, the MC is gifted the Gorilla God's abilities, and she has superhuman strength and different things. It's kind of like a reverse harem type of thing. I've really been enjoying it. I think to give it a fair assessment, I'm going to be putting it into a B rank. Next up, My Hero Academia Vigilantes. I love Vigilantes. I love how it's a different approach to the My Hero world than the original series. I love how dark it is. I love Knuckle Duster. The episodes that we've been getting with Stenhall and who he really is, and how that ties into the original series, I absolutely love. I'm going to be putting My Hero Academia Vigilantes into S rank. Next up, we have The Two Perfect Saint. This one actually has a really good story. I feel like it's kind of going under the radar for the majority of the anime community. So basically, the MC, she gets basically sold off to a neighboring kingdom because the prince is very corrupt. He ends up trying to like get married to her sister, but her sister... It's this whole thing of like her sister not knowing exactly what happened to her, but she's like basically trying to figure it out herself, so she's kind of playing along with the prince and everything. I've really been enjoying it. I'm going to give it a B rank because I sort of feel like it could go A or B, but I feel like to be fair in this, it should be a B rank. Next up is Compass 2.0. I did drop this anime. It did not really keep my interest. I don't know. I don't think I had an exact reason why. I just didn't like it. So I'm going to be putting it in D rank. Next, we got Guilty Gear Strive. I did drop this one as well. I tried to not let the 3D basically cloud my judgment, but I feel like it ended up clouding my judgment. So I did drop it. I'm going to be putting it into D rank. Next up, we have Once Upon a Witch's Death. I like this anime. I think it's very cute, very funny. Some of the episodes have been okay. I know it started off really strong, and then episode 6 that we just got, it's starting to pick up a little bit. So to give it a fair assessment, I'm going to be putting it into B rank. Next up, we have Apocalypse Hotel. I kind of have mixed feelings on this one. I saw the trailer before it released, and I thought it would be really, really cool. Then some of the episodes have been okay to me. I don't know if I'm going to be dropping it or not. I feel like I might, but I haven't yet. So I'm going to be putting it into C rank. Next is Can a Boy-Girl Friendship Survive? This one is also one of the funniest animes this season. I love the art style. It's very, very visually appealing. The characters are funny. They're cute. I love the dynamic between them. So to give this a fair assessment, I'm going to be putting this one into the B rank. Next up, One Piece is Love or something like that. I don't know. I absolutely hated what I saw. I believe I only watched episode 1. It's just a terrible, terrible parody of One Piece, and I dropped it after 1 episode. So this is definitely D rank for me. Next up, T-Bait. This one kind of speaks for itself. I actually did drop it after, I believe, episode 5, and I'm probably not going to continue it, so I'm going to be putting it into D rank. Next up, we have The Unaware Atelier Meister. This one's actually pretty good. It's very, very generic. So, like, if you're somebody that doesn't like to see repetitive storylines or animes, this one's not for you. But if you enjoy isekais and fantasy worlds and, you know, that type of genre, you're going to enjoy this one. I think to give it a fair assessment, either a B or a C. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I guess I'll put it in B because I don't want to put it too low. But yeah, we'll put it in B rank. Next up is Witch Watch. Again, one of the funniest animes this season. They have so many different references to different animes. The main characters are hilarious. The art style is gorgeous. The opening is probably my favorite opening this entire season. It's by Yoasobi. Forgive me if I'm saying that incorrectly, but they've done a lot of anime openings, and I love hearing their songs every time. So this one I'm going to be putting into A rank. Next up is Summer Pockets. This one, admittedly so, has been a little bit disappointing for me because I feel like nothing has really happened. I know we kind of got a reveal in the latest episode, but it was a little bit confusing, and it's like I basically had an assumption, and I ended up being right about it, but it was just like very confusing. Like nothing was clear. I love how it looks. I think it's very beautiful. The characters are cute. It's just, I don't know, something about this one I'm not necessarily hyped about every week. So I am going to be putting this in C rank, but I do understand if people would put it a little bit higher than that. Next up is Zatsutabi, That's Journey. I did actually unintentionally drop this one because there was 1 week where the episode was delayed, and I ended up not watching that episode, and then it just the next day happened, and I was like, I'm not really feeling it, so I did drop it. I think because I didn't necessarily mean to drop it, but I just haven't picked it back up, I'm going to be putting it into a C instead of D. I'm not sure if I will pick it back up yet or not, but I know that some people do like it. Next up is Machina-san's a Love Bot. This one is another one that I dropped after episode 1. It's just a very weird, ecchi anime. You know, the girl is very beautiful, but it's like she's got really big whats, and the MC is just like a high school boy, or he might be middle school actually. He seems pretty young. Um, but yeah, it's just one of those weird ones that I don't really care for, so I'm going to be putting it into D rank. Next up is the Mononoke Lecture Logs of Chuzenji Sensei. This one is actually very good. It reminds me of the Forbidden Deductions of Ran Kaminohashi. It's very good. If you like mysteries and cases getting solved, I highly recommend this one for you. I'm actually going to be putting it into A rank because I actually do. I'm a big fan of mysteries and solving cases and stuff, so I'm going to be putting that into A rank. Next up is The Catcher in the Ballpark. This one is, there's not really much happening, to be honest. I don't really care for the art style. I think it's pretty ugly, to be honest. And I did drop it because it's just very boring. So I'm going to be putting it into D rank. Even though the main girl is beautiful, that's not enough for me to just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep watching. So this is going to be a D rank. Next up is Gundam G-Quux. Now, I am kind of late to the whole Gundam thing. I am just now getting into a bunch of Gundam series. I recently watched Witch from Mercury, Iron Blooded Orphans, Double O, and Unicorn. I'm in the middle of Gundam Wing as we speak, and I do love them. I love the Gundam series as I'm watching them right now. So for this one, I really loved episode 2 and the backstory with Char, but every other episode has been a little bit stale, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know if I want to put it quite down to a C, but I don't think it'd be any higher than a B, to be honest. So I'm going to be putting it in a B rank. Next up is Anne Shirley. Now, before starting this, I had no idea that it was an original anime or a movie, The Green Gables. But this show is very cute, very funny. Anne Shirley, she's very like mischievous and kind of like, kind of gets her way, but like in a funny type of way. Like she's not one of those type of characters that like acts like she's better and things like that. It's just very cute, very funny. I will give it I'd say it's an A. I do really like it, and I think the animation is well done. I think the art style is very cute as well. So next up is Lazarus. This one started off super strong for me. I would have put it in S originally. But as the episodes have gone on, it has gone a little bit stale. I know that Watanabe makes his stories very slow and sometimes kind of episodic as like Cowboy Bebop. I think to give it a fair assessment, I'm going to be putting it into B rank. I know some people might say A, but in my personal opinion, I'm going to be putting it into B rank. Next up, we have Kowloon or Kowloon Generic Romance. It's anything but generic. It's basically a mystery sci-fi type of thing. There's like illusions going on in the town of Kowloon, and it's just really cool to see. It does have a little bit of fan service if you can handle that. But like the art style is gorgeous. The MC is gorgeous. I'm personally a big fan of her best friend, the blonde girl. I think she is very attractive. But that aside, the story's really cool. It has a lot of mystery and like, you're basically trying to interpret what's happening. I'm going to be putting this one into S rank. I think it is very well done. And yeah, I'm going to be putting it into S rank. Next up, One Piece. This pretty much speaks for itself. Egghead Island has been amazing. We're about to get Kuma and Bonnie's backstory, which is going to be one of the most heart-wrenching stories in all of anime from manga readers' perspective. So, of course, this goes into S rank. Next up, we have the Shinji Family Children. Now, this is by the same creator as Rent a Girlfriend, which I have not seen, but I know that one gets a lot of hate. This one I don't necessarily, but I can understand why a lot of people would not watch it necessarily. I love the character designs. I think the art style is very beautiful. It is one of those like very stereotypical harem type of things. And I can understand why it might put some people off by where like they were family, and now that they know that they're not, they're starting to like realize their feelings for the main boy. To give this a fair assessment, I'm gonna put it into B. Um, I personally do enjoy it, but yeah, we're gonna put it in B rank. Next up, we have Yaiba Samurai Legend. Now, this is a remake from an original anime back in the 90s. It has very, very similar vibes to OG Dragon Ball. Wit Studio is doing an incredible job with the animation. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. It is one of my personal favorites this season, so we're going to be putting it into S rank. Next up, Windbreaker Season 2. A lot of people don't like Season 2 because it's not hands, 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 fight, fight, fight. I personally love Slice of Life, and I love the messages that Season 2 has been giving us, especially with Tsubaki and Sakura. I really love this season. I'm going to be putting it into S rank. Some people might put it a little bit lower. Some people might not be watching it at all. But for me personally, it's going into S rank. Next up, we have Your Forma. Now, this one has a cool concept. Some episodes are a little bit confusing. I think for me personally, I will be putting this into B rank because, like I said, it is a little bit confusing at times. Also, it's like I like it, but it's not one that I necessarily like go out of my way for to be all excited about. So I'm going to be putting it into B rank. Next is Rock is a Lady's Modesty. Now, this one is actually very funny. The girls are absolutely gorgeous. There are times where it gets 3D, and that does throw it off just a little bit. But other than the 3D, I think it's a very, very good show. So, like I said, the girls are very beautiful. The music is actually really good. There was a song that they played. I believe it was episode 4 or 5. It might have been 4. To where they basically like performed in front of a crowd of people, and I thought the song was amazing. So I'm going to be putting it into A rank. Next up is The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows. This one is actually very good. I like the MC a lot. He's very cool, very, mysterious. In terms of like healers, he might be one of the best healers in all of anime, to be honest. He's got very, very strong healing magic, defensive magic, a bunch of different things. So for me personally, I'm going to be putting this into A rank. Next up, we have Bye Bye Earth Season 2. While I did really enjoy Season 1, and I have been thoroughly enjoying Season 2, I know that like the story can be a little bit dragged out at times, and maybe some people dropped this after Season 1 and they're not watching Season 2. For me personally, I think I will be putting it into B rank instead of an A. It's definitely not lower than a B. But yeah, so I'm going to be putting this into B rank. Next up is The Dinner Table Detective. Now, this one is actually very also similar to Forbidden Deductions. The MC, here's the thing. The only character that is very similar to Ron Kamanahashi is the butler that the MC has. He basically solves the cases for her at times, and also her partner is very, very funny. His approach to like interrogating people is very comedic at times. So for me personally, I'm going to be putting this into B rank. And last but certainly not least, from Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman, this is one of my favorites this season. I love the art style of it. I love how it's very like generic, but also well done in a way. A lot of people might say it's too generic or it's like too basic, but I actually really enjoy it. The animation is really good. When it goes to 3D, it's actually really good. I'm usually not a fan of 3D. But for this one, I actually really do like it. So we're going to be putting this into A rank. Alright, so that's going to be it for every anime that I have started for the Spring 2025 anime season. You guys let me know, do you agree with my takes? Do you disagree with my takes? Let me know down in the comments. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will most likely do this again once the season is over, so we'll see if any of them, kind of move around or if they kind of stay the same. So you guys let me know down below, and until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video.